Alright guys, today I got something a little different for you guys. I've been thinking about this for a little bit now, and I wanted to show you guys, the beginners of golf, on how to swing a golf club. This inspired me because I look back on my golf career. I've been playing golf for about 9 years now, and I've always been taught throughout my whole life that fundamentals are key. And my golf game is built on fundamentals. Most of this stuff that I've learned isn't experimental or anything. It's just stuff that I've learned throughout my whole life and stuff that I've learned from golf coaches. And I'm here to share it with you guys for free. And I'm not selling a course or anything. This is stuff that I'm doing for free. You don't have to pay for it. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Step one is, of course, the grip. How do you even hold the golf club? Well, it's actually pretty simple. But at first, it feels very uncomfortable because you've never held something like this in your life. I'm a right-handed golfer, and I'm pretty sure most of you are as well. So you're going to take your left hand, right? And you really want the grip of this club in the fingers of your hand. And you really want to grip it at the very end of the club, where this meaty part of your hand meets at the bottom of this club right here. And see how it's in my fingers? It's not in my palms like this. You have no control over the golf club like that. So it's gonna be in the fingers, just like this. If you see the lines in my hands, so I got 1, 2, 3, it's kind of split into thirds. I want this thing in the first third of my hand right here. So I'm gonna place it right there, wrap my fingers around, boom, just like that. Thumb up top, then you're gonna take your right hand, make like a gun with your left. See my pinky on my right hand, I'm gonna place it in between my index and my middle finger, just like this. And then you're just gonna close everything together on top of each other. Wrap it all around. And this, what the grip looks like. Now the way that I've trained grip in the past is with this club. This is actually a weighted club built for swing speed, but it also has a grip trainer at the bottom. See, it has lines in here indicating where to put your hands. So I'm gonna demonstrate it again, right? Take your left hand, right? And you see this little indent right here. You're gonna place that thumb on the right side of it, right? Make sure it's in the fingers. Make a gun. Take your right hand, right? Place that pinky in between the index and the middle finger. Boom, right there. And then you just wrap everything around, just like that. And then boom, thumb up top. This is what the grip looks like. Just like that. Now as you become more experienced in golf and you start finding your swing, you can actually adjust your grip. The grip is adjustable. You can either make it stronger or weaker depending on your miss and how you want the ball to shape. And the way you do that is, so I would say this is a pretty neutral grip, right? And the way you can tell is if you stand over the ball with your grip, right, is the amount of knuckles you can see on your left hand. So when I look down at the ball, I can see about three knuckles. Yeah, about 3 knuckles. So I would say my grip is a little bit stronger compared to other people's. Let's say you want a weaker grip, right? You would actually turn the wrist counterclockwise, and now I see about 2 knuckles. So that means the grip got weaker. When you change the left hand grip on the club, the right hand follows. So as the grip gets stronger with the left hand, right, it goes clockwise. Your right hand also goes clockwise, so it becomes more underneath the club. So this would be a very strong grip, right? I could see about all of my knuckles, right? Right hand follows, and it has to be underneath the club, following the left hand, just like that. For the opposite, it would be a weak grip. So I'd turn my hand counterclockwise, right? Right hand needs to follow, so it'd be more on top, just like that. Now a stronger grip will promote more of a draw ball flight, while a weaker grip will promote more of a fade. Now if you don't know that terminology, a draw is when the ball starts right of your target and draws and curves left back to your target. And a fade is where the ball starts left and comes back right. Most golfers will say a draw is a right to left ball flight, while a fade is a left to right ball flight. Now for me, even though I have a strong grip, I like to play a left to right ball flight or a fade, which is very weird. But like I said, as you become more experienced in your swing and in golf, your grip will change to your tendencies. So now with the first step done with the grip, and it was kind of a lot if you're a beginner, it's a lot to take in. But the second step now is your stance and the base of your swing. Now the stance is very simple, but some people make it very complicated. And I found a very simple process that you can use to make the same stance every single time, and it's going to be perfect. So first, you don't even need a club to practice your stance. So I'm going to go ahead and ditch this, it's gone. So you're going to stand straight up. Your feet are always going to be about shoulder length apart. Of course, like if you're going shorter shots, of course it's going to be more narrow. So about shoulder width, right? And then if you're playing shorter shots or shorter distance shots, it's going to be narrow. But we don't have to worry about that right now. You're just trying to hit a golf ball. The way to get a perfect stance, right, is that I like to hinge my hips, almost like you're doing an RDL. If you guys ever done a barbell RDL, it's kind of like that, where you just hinge at the hips, right? You're not bending your back forward like that. You see how my back is hunched as compared to when I hinge from the hips, my back stays straight. So I'm gonna bend about 45 degrees-ish. So let's say I'm at 90 right now. It's gonna be about 45 to, 30 degrees, really. And it all really depends on your height as well. Like my taller friends, I have a friend that is literally 6'7", no joke. He bends a lot at the waist because the clubs are shorter, of course. But if you're like me, about average height or a little bit taller, I'm about 5'10". I bend about 45 degrees, right? And let your arms just dangle down, right? So I'm in a very relaxed position here, in a very athletic position. So I'm gonna let my arms dangle down, just like this. And this is where the club is gonna come into play. So when my arms are dangling down, this is where I'm just gonna grip the club. I'm just gonna put my hands together and then boom. Now you have the perfect distance from the club to your waist. And that's what a lot of people mess up, is they're guessing all the time on their stance on how far away they should be from the ball. When it is very simple. You just dangle your arms from the hinging of the hips, hands together, and then you want to shift your weight around so that the balls of your feet have most of your weight on it. So I'm gonna shift around right here, get really comfortable, right? I feel it in the balls of my feet, let my arms dangle down, put my hands together, boom, I have a perfect stance. So now with the club, right, I'm gonna take my grip, left hand, right hand, everything comes together, right? I have the ball here, okay? And now I'm just gonna let my arms dangle down, right? I feel pretty comfortable. All the weight is in the balls of my feet. Then I'm gonna bring everything together, just like this, boom. Now I have the perfect stance. Now I can get the ball to where I want it, which is, I'm gonna talk about later. And now I have the perfect stance to swing. And now the good thing about me teaching this process is that you can do it with every single club, and it's gonna be right every single time. You can even do it with driver, 3-wood, 4-iron, 5-iron. It does not matter. You can do it with any club you want. You can even do it with your lob wedge. Now next is the takeaway. Now the takeaway, this is where we start getting into the swing. And this is the most exciting part. You know, you're getting ready to hit your first ball. Or whiff, like most people do with their first swing. Now, the takeaway is also very simple, but not every golfer takes the club away the same way. Let me explain. You'll see some guys, right, take the club way outside like this, almost like a Matthew Wolf, right? Or you'll see some guys take it all the way on the inside and kind of lay it off like a Jon Rahm. Now, the important thing to know is that the takeaway is kind of your own thing. Because at the end of the day, the takeaway doesn't matter at all. It just depends on how many variables do you want to account for on the downswing. The takeaway sets up your downswing. And for me, I don't like to compensate for a lot of variables. So I try to keep the takeaway as perfect as possible. Because let's say, for example, take the club away, like a Matthew Wolf, all the way outside, super high up, super steep like this, you're gonna have to reroute the club all the way back on the inside, just like this, to even have a chance to hit this ball. But let's say you're Jon Rahm and you take it on the inside and lay it off just like this. You're gonna have to keep that angle in the clubs and your hand by dropping down and moving and shifting your weight just like that. Both are very athletic moves, and they are very athletic people, and that's why they can do it. But for normal people like us, we want to keep it pitch perfect on the takeaway so that we don't have to compensate a ton on the downswing to have a chance to hit the ball. So my takeaway, I'm not saying it is perfect, but it is a good place to start, is I found this drill where if you put a towel under your armpits and simply take your stance with that towel under your armpits, and you're simply just going to take a backswing, keeping that towel under your armpits. So it's going to look something like this. This is going to be the takeaway. It's just going to be like that. Boom. Do it again. Boom. Just like that. Try it again. Boom. Just like that. And what this allows is you being very connected. So I'm going to bring up Matthew Wolff again. He is not very connected to the swing. If you see, his arms go all the way out like that. If you did this, the towel would drop immediately, right? So the way I like to take it back, based on my fundamentals, keep that towel under the armpits and stay connected. Boom, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Now that is only the first part of the takeaway. We still have to get all the way to the top. And that is what I'm going to show you next. So now that you have the first part of the takeaway down, it is time to move to the final part. And that is called the hinge. The hinge and turn is what I like to call it. So we're going to do everything the same. First step, grip. Boom, left hand, right hand. We're going to take our stance, right? Hinge at the hips, let the arms dangle down. Weight on the balls of our feet. Then we're going to take the club back with a towel under our armpits. We're going to imagine that. We're very connected, right? If I put a towel under my armpits right now, they would not fall. Now, for the final part is the hinge and the turn. So for the hinge, this basically sets the angle of our club, okay? So we're going to take it back, boom, we're very connected, and we're going to hinge our hands. It's almost like this action. I really don't know what to call it, but we're basically going to hinge it up, just like this. With the club in our hands, this is what we're doing. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna combine that with the takeaway, and it's gonna look like this. We're gonna combine it with the hinge, bam, just like this. And about where your torso is at, this midline, your hands are gonna be at a 90-degree angle at this point. So I'm gonna show you guys right here. We're gonna take our stance, right? We're gonna take it away, boom. We're gonna start hinging, bam. It's at a 90 degrees. This is what it looks like from the face. 90 degrees up. And then once you're about 90 degree hinge, you're just simply going to turn your shoulders more, all the way to the top. Boom, just like that. Do it again from the face on. We're going to take it away, hinge, and make sure this left arm is straight. You've probably heard that a million times, and it is true. Keep that arm straight. Fold that right arm, that right elbow, and as we're taking this away, we're still very connected, right? Still very connected to the torso. So we're going to hinge it up like that. Left arm straight, right arm is going to begin to fold, and we're going to turn it all the way to the top. Boom, just like that. And you have made a backswing. So we'll go right here, down the line angle, take it away, hinge, right? We're at 90 degrees. We're going to turn it to the top. Boom. And there you go. That's what a proper backswing looks like. All right. Now that we have the backswing down, it is time for the downswing, the next step of the process. So we're going to do everything the same. And I will recap. first, step one is the grip. Boom. Step two is the stance. We're going to bring the ball a little bit closer right here. Arms dangle down, right? I'm hinging at the hips. Weight on the balls of my feet. Now, step three, the takeaway. Very connected. Remember the towel under the armpits. So we're going to take it away. Boom. We're going to hinge up. Club is at 90 degrees, right? And then we're going to complete the turn. Now, time for the downswing. Now, the downswing, people get it wrong all the time, and this is how I teach it. A lot of the times, people want to hit the club or hit the ball really, really hard. So what they do, and they mistake it, right? They get to the top, and they turn so aggressively with the hips and the shoulders. Now watch what this does to the club if I just simply turn from the top. You see that? It goes all the way to the outside. Now let's say I wanted to swing at the ball and I turn the hips and torso super aggressively. Look at this. Boom. You're coming way over the top of the ball because you're trying to spin and hit the ball really, really hard. You're trying to kill the thing. That's not right, guys. Golf is a very slow game. You gotta be patient, okay? You gotta be patient with your power, and that is where the real speed comes in, is patience. So the right way to do it is to not spin out and throw your whole body at the ball, right? It is to be patient and store that power for the bottom of the swing. And that's where all the power should be, is right at the ball, not from the top of the swing. So we're gonna hinge up, turn, right? The first move is to not spin out. No, that's not what you wanna do. What you wanna do is to get your weight onto this left leg or the lead leg, right? Because when you make the turn, all that weight is gonna naturally shift onto your trail leg, right? So my right leg is the trail leg, left leg is the lead leg, okay? So once we're at the top, we're gonna want to get that weight back to the left side. So you're open, everything's open away to your target, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift that weight all onto the lead side, just like this. Without turning our hips like that, we're gonna stay close to the target, right? This is closed. And we're gonna shift that weight into that lead leg. This is gonna be the first move of our swing, right? And what that do in the downswing, instead of coming over the top by spinning, if we shift into that lead side, the club is gonna naturally drop into the slot, just like this. You don't even manually have to do it. It's just gonna do it for you. It's just pure physics, right? If you shift this side, boom, the club's gonna drop in, boom, right? Weights on my trail side, shift it to the lead side, boom, just like this, boom. And I exaggerate this a lot because this is so important in the swing to get that weight onto the lead side. So I'm gonna do it step by step again, right? Take away, boom, hinge it up, turn, shift into that lead side, and then simultaneously, while keeping that weight on the lead side, right, we're gonna simply turn the hips. Then you can bring all that power that you want once you get that weight on the lead side, and you can explode through the ball. Just like that. Boom. So I'm gonna demonstrate it again real slow. Take away, hinge, turn, complete the backswing, shift into the lead side, and then power. Do it again from the top, shift, then turn. Just like that. All together, it should look something like this. Now the downswing is the most important part of the swing. Why? Because every single PGA pro gets in the same, almost the same position at the bottom of their swing. if you look at a lot of pictures of the downswing, they look almost identical to each other. And that is because a perfect downswing is universal. It's not like the perfect takeaway where it can be different, right? The perfect downswing is universal. So that is why we work on it so much. The downswing, the downswing, the downswing. You know, the way to get the perfect downswing, the easiest way is to have a perfect takeaway. And that is why I also work on the takeaway a lot. It's because I want to get the perfect downswing without having to compensate for that club at the top of the swing. I'll bring back Matthew Wolff again, right? He takes the club out all the way like this, right? He has to reroute that club. Because if you try to swing from here, it's almost impossible to hit the ball. So he has to reroute, and he's very good at it, reroute that club back on the inside just to hit the ball. Or like Jon Rahm, again, I'll bring it up. He's very laid off at the top. This is laid off, right? And this is across the line. He's very laid off, and he has to keep that angle, so he has to drop the hands like this. And this can be a very hard move for a lot of people, dropping the hands and shifting and then turning around. But he makes it work because he's very athletic and he's grown up with that swing throughout his whole career. But for people like us, we want to keep things simple. Tiger Woods came up with a very good acronym, right? It's called KISS. It stands for Keep It Simple Stupid. That is the name of golf. Keep it simple, stupid. We want to keep everything super simple because on the golf course, there are a lot of things we cannot control. So we want to get really good at the stuff that we have control over. And that is grip, boom, stance, takeaway, downswing, right? We can't really master wind or, you know, how the ball is going to react on different textures of grass or even different grass. We can't really predict that stuff. So we want to get really good at the stuff that we are in control of. Golf is a very unpredictable sport, and that is why you try to master the predictable things. And that comes with grip, stance, takeaway, and downswing. So I'm gonna touch a little bit more on the downswing, right? And I'm not really gonna touch on post-impact, right? Post-impact is after the swing, the follow-through. Because if you do everything right on the downswing, the follow-through should follow, right? So I'm gonna sit up here, right? I'm gonna take it up to the top again. Remember hinge, the club's at 90 degrees, we complete the turn, we shift, and then we turn. Watch my head and my torso, right? It is not moving at all. It is simply keeping the same angle throughout the whole swing. Just like that. Everything is swiveling around the head, just like this, and everything's opening up to the target, right? So we shift, boom, just like that. And the reason I say head movement and torso movement, a lot of people say, oh, you're picking the head up. Well, picking the head up doesn't actually do anything in the swing. Here, I'll show you. Take it up, right? Let's say we shift, we turn, lift my head. Nothing's happening, right? What they actually mean to say is that you're lifting your torso up. Now, lifting your torso up does have very bad consequences. So I'm gonna shift up, right? I'm gonna shift into my lead side, and I'm gonna pick that torso up. Boom. Look at that. I'm gonna do it again. I basically have no chance to hit the ball, right? I'm gonna whiff it every time because I'm lifting that torso up. Or if I pick it up just a little bit, I'm gonna hit the top of the ball, right? I'm gonna hit the top. And that's what a lot of people do. So don't mistake lifting your head for lifting your torso, because it's not the same thing at all. And I've actually never seen anybody intentionally lift their head like this on the downswing. Like why would you even do this? Right? It's the torso, not the head. So this is picking up the torso like this, or called standing up, right? And I actually have trouble with this. I guess the technical term is early extension, right? So that's when the butt goes towards the ball like this. Staying in posture is actually very hard and it takes a lot of flexibility, right? So this is early extension right here. You shift and then that butt goes towards the ball, right? It's almost like you're trying to hump the ball, right? So what you want to do on the downswing is keep everything down, right? And that's where you get the sweet compression of the ball, right? So into the lead side, we're gonna stay down on the ball, boom, and then everything follows through, right? If your downswing is good, your follow through is gonna be good as well. We'll go here, right? Put it all together. And it's just perfect. So if you enjoyed this video and want me to make more videos like this for YouTube or TikTok, I'm not sure where I'm going to post this yet, but if you guys really do enjoy content like this, I'm happy to make it, and for free as well. You don't have to buy my course or anything like that. So yeah, I'll keep making content like this if you guys like it. I'll even go more in depth into a lot more things. If you guys have any questions, put them down below and I'll be sure to make videos on it explaining, all the different technicalities of golf, because it is a very technical game. It can get very complex once you start getting better. So if you guys enjoyed, please hit the follow, like, and comment. Thank you.